everybody, my name is Natalia Lee and I'm the author of the young adult novels Highborn and Way of Spears. Today I am bringing you my 5th tea time video. I have my favorite writing mug here with me today, and I'm going to be talking to you about Camp NaNoWriMo, updates on my novel, and also an awesome author that I met and the book that I got from her signing. Let's get started. Way too hot. Way too hot. Nope. So my really exciting news is that I recently finished the first draft of my massive novel outline. If you have been following my videos and my Twitter and my Camp NaNoWriMo, then you'll know that I was working really hard on my fairy novel, and then I hit a wall and I realized that I had not plotted enough. And I went to this 7 sentences seminar and I got all these new ideas, and I realized that I needed to stop writing, go all the way back, and start outlining everything from the very beginning so that I knew exactly where I was going. It took me maybe like 2 weeks and a few days to get this outline finished, but I am extremely excited because as of yesterday, I finished the first draft of the outline, and I'm gonna kind of show it to you today. My finished first draft outline is 12,000 words, 33 pages, and 30 chapters. So what I did was I literally started by writing all of my ideas down. I just word vomited everything everywhere into a document. I didn't try to organize it, I just went with it and I put all my ideas down. That took, I don't know, maybe a week in and of itself just to do that until I felt like I was at a point where I could start organizing. And then I took all those new ideas, as well as all the ideas I already had and had been writing about, and I started breaking them down chapter by chapter. Because what was tripping me up while I was writing is that I would write a really exciting scene, and then after that scene was done, I was like, oh shoot, where am I going now? I don't know what to write next. I don't know how to get from point A to point B to point Z, and that was really making the writing process hard on me. So I think it's going to be really helpful to have this whole outline now, because when I'm done with a scene, I can immediately look ahead to the next chapter and say, okay, I know exactly where I'm going. I know why I'm going that way. I know the entire purpose of the chapter. I know the conversations that the characters have to have in this chapter. I know everything, and I'm really excited about it because I've never done this before. I've never been so tedious and detailed about my outlining, and I think it's going to help tremendously for my writing process. So what I am working on now is reading through the entire outline and then doing initial edits. So I am treating this outline like I would treat my finished first draft manuscript. I'm going to read it all the way through, go back, make a bunch of edit notes, edit it on the Scrivener document, print it out again. And I'm going to continue doing this until I feel like I've arrived at a point where there are 0 plot holes. Everything is tied up really nice, all the characters have their arcs, and it's just going to be fantastic. So while I am going through this outline and making my edit notes, I am also making notes about the day of the week that the chapter occurs on, and then the month and the day of the month, because this story is happening within a month's period, and it's very important that I know exactly what day of the month it is, because certain plot points are triggered on certain days. So what I'm doing now, like I have a note here that says chapter 1 starts on Thursday, September 29th. And then I can see here that chapter 6 is Monday, October 3rd. So I'm going through and making notes about all that. Chapter 9 is Friday, October 10th. But I think it's going to be a little bit tricky because when I wrote the chapters, I did not specify what day of the week it was. I just said, the next day this happened, the next day this happened, then the weekend hit. So I think it's going to be tricky to try to make all of that make sense. I have already had to add a few scenes that just kind of happened over the weekend, so there's not much going on in the story. The reader is aware that a weekend has passed, and then the story picks back up on a Monday. Like, there's some of that stuff that I'm having to do, and I think it'll be a little tricky. I am on chapter 15 right now out of 30 chapters, so I'm about halfway done reading through it and making a couple of edit notes. And so far, so good, putting the dates in. But when I get to the final chapters, the days of the month and the week are going to be super important, and I'm worried that they're just going to be all muddled and messed up, and I'm definitely going to have to work to try to move around some of the plot points and move around kind of my descriptions and the days that they're happening in order to make sure that everything really wraps up by the end of October in the story. So I think that's going to be a little tricky in the long run, but so far it hasn't been too difficult. Like I said, I'm up to about chapter 15 right now, just making the initial notes and edits, and it's going pretty darn well. What I'm going to end up doing when I am completely done with this entire outlining process is make you a completely new outlining video to let you know exactly how I did it and why I think this is going to work for me. Today is Friday, April 28th, and like I said, I just finished the first draft of the outline yesterday, and then yesterday evening when I had it all printed out is when I did the initial read through and I started making notes. So finishing up the first round of notes I think should only take me another day or two, maybe at the most, and then I can go back to my Scrivener document, add everything in, and then do a second round of edits. So I'm really guessing that I will be ready to start writing during the first week of May, and if not the first week of May, absolutely by the second week, because I don't want to rush this editing process. I really want to make sure that I've edited the outline to a point where I am extremely pleased with it, and I know that there are zero plot holes, because that has always been my problem in the past, is kind of writing the entire novel and then writing myself into a corner and realizing that I have a tremendous amount of work to fix to go back and fill in all the plot holes, and that's incredibly, incredibly frustrating. I've done it multiple times now, and I don't want that to happen again. So here in a week or so, I should be back to writing officially, and I am nervous and excited about it. I'm excited because I think it's going to be so much smoother and easier this time around because I'm not guessing. The outline is taking all the guesswork out of it, and that's exactly what I need and want. I cannot be pantsing my way through a novel. It does not work for me that way. Oh, that's good. All right, next up on the agenda to talk about is that last Saturday, the 22nd of April, I went to an author signing. I got to meet the author, have a beautiful new book signed by her, and I got to listen to kind of an interview and Q&A session. And that author was Laini Taylor, the author of Strange the Dreamer. This is a beautiful hardback copy of her newest book, Strange the Dreamer. I have not started reading it yet. I am currently working on a book called Salt and Storm. That is what I am currently working on, and I want to finish that before I move on to this gorgeous new book. I really, really enjoyed getting to listen to Laini speak because she seemed so down to earth and just really relaxed. She was just fantastic to listen to. She answered questions fully and she was patient. And when I went through the signing line, I actually had a really old book of hers that I picked up at this old used bookstore. It is a fairy novel, which is funny enough since I'm working on one, and it is Dreamdark Blackbringer. And this was the first one she wrote. And when she saw this, she was really excited about it. And she told me, like, I haven't been able to read the second one of the series, and she told me that it is no longer in print, which I had no idea about. So now I'm really going to have to try to keep my eye out to try to find the second one of this series because I absolutely loved it. My favorite trilogy remains The Daughter of Smoke and Bone. It is my favorite trilogy of all time. So being able to meet Laini and get her to sign my books was absolutely fantastic. And she talked about how writing is actually very difficult for her and it takes her a long time to do it. Sometimes it can take an entire year just to write Act 1 and then another year to write Act 2 and 3. Mew, please don't interrupt. I am filming a video. It was really inspiring getting to listen to her talk about how long it takes to write a novel because this novel is taking me a while. Way of Spears I wrote in like 2 months. I wrote it between January and like the very beginning of March, and then I started editing it in April for Camp Nanowrimo. And then in comparison, this fairy novel, The Song of the Dryad, I started in November. So I worked on it November, December, January, February, March, April. So I'm already 6 months in, and I don't even have a first draft done. I wrote 100,000 words of it, and now I'm back at the outlining, and now I've written 12,000 more words, so I'm at like 112,000 words written on this story, but I feel like I have very little to show for it. So it was really nice being able to listen to Lainey speak about how it's okay and she takes a long time and everybody's creative process is different, and that just kind of gave me a breath of relief. So it was really nice to listen to her. I'm really excited to have this gorgeous new book on my shelf, and I'm really excited to jump into it as soon as I finish the other one that I'm currently working on. If you have any requests for upcoming videos, please let me know. Now that Camp NaNoWriMo is coming to an end, I'm going to be doing different style of videos, more how-to videos, more tip videos, such as the writing romance video and the how to handle your plot bunnies and shiny new ideas video that I just did this past week. So please let me know if there's anything specifically you would like me to film a video on. Again, I will be filming an updated outlining video as soon as I am completely done editing and revising my current outline. So that will probably be that'll probably take another 2 weeks to be up. But if there's anything else you'd like to see, please let me know, just so that I have a little bit of guidance moving forward with what you are interested in learning. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to check out my other tea time videos in which I just sit down, drink something nice and warm, and I just chat with you about what I'm working on, how I'm feeling, and it's just a very casual, chatty video. I have a really good time with them, and I hope that you enjoy them as well. Please give me a thumbs up if you would like to see more videos like this, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I post regular videos about writing tips, how my novel is going, and a lot of other wonderful writerly things. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!